bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
And we give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Billy Capistrano. In tonight's Game Plan, we'll catch up with the one and only 23-time PBA champion, Coach Tim Cone, as he looks ahead to Barangay Ginebra's campaign in the upcoming PBA Governor's Cup.
Then let's go inside the minds of our basketball greats as Coach Tim Cone shares his friendship with Miami Heat head coach Erik Spoelstra. And we'll check in with PBA 3x3 first leg finalists, Meralco Bolts 3x3, as they're ready to charge stronger in the upcoming leg of the PBA 3x3 Lakas ng Tatlo. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. In the PBA, there is no hungrier team than the one looking for redemption. And after Barangay Ginebra ended their recent campaign in the quarters, fans can't wait to see that never say die spirit back on the court. Joining us tonight to look ahead to their upcoming conference is a legendary 23-time PBA champion himself, Coach Tim Cone. Welcome to the game, Coach Tim.
Welcome, Coach.
Hi. I think we're looking more forward to the fans, and the fans are looking forward to us. We would love to see the fans this time around.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome.
Absolutely, Coach. Coach, I know that you're so used to talking to my dad and you're probably sick of Del Rosarios, but I hope you indulge us here just a bit.
That's true. There's some real truth in that.
Well, Coach Tim, I know you don't want to keep on looking back at what happened last conference because there was a lot that happened there. But I was just wondering, now that you can look at it with clear eyes, with less emotion, and just dissect what happened, could you give us your summary of what you think went wrong for Barangay Ginebra and what you're trying to address moving on?
Well, that's a mouthful. We didn't prepare well, I felt, in going into the last conference. I thought that was really the big deal. We had the time, but we just didn't, really get down and dirty and do the things we needed to do to get ourselves ready. I didn't think we were in the best of shape. We had some injuries that were early, so guys weren't able to get into early practices. And it just kind of carried over. We got off to a slow start, lost some games we probably should have won, or against teams we should have beaten. And that got us off on the wrong foot, and we could just never recovered. It just seemed like one of those times where just everything went wrong for us. And, when you win a championship, it just seems like everything goes right. It's amazing, you get the right schedule, the other team gets injured, it takes a lot to win a championship, and a lot of things have to go right for that to happen. And it just happens that kind of like the odds are that just everything went wrong for us this last time. But, we feel like that one's over with. I feel like it's been a new lease on life. This is the first time we've been able to do two-a-day practices in 2 years, which means we're around together, around each other a lot. We're getting a lot of extra work done. Guys are getting in good shape, and it's given us time to really kind of reassess what we're doing offensively and what we're doing defensively. And we're making some changes, and led by your dad, by the way, but led by Coach Richard Del Rosario, and we have a whole new, look, I think, coming into this next conference. And to top it all off, we have Justin Brownlee coming back, and that's really the key. We have Justin coming back, then whatever weaknesses we showed in the last bubble, I guarantee you Justin will make up for those weaknesses.
Now, Coach, what has the team been working on the most in preparation for the Governor's Cup? Because after you lost to TNT, you did say that finish would never happen again as long as you're the coach.
Well, I'm not sure that we'll never have that finish again, but we'll never play with. I felt the lack of alacrity that we missed in that. We just didn't bring it, and we needed to bring it a lot harder than we did, and I'm responsible for that. We're not playing with that kind of intensity. That's on me, and we didn't get our guys. Like I said, we didn't get our guys prepared from the get-go. So That's what I mean by it'll never happen again. I'm gonna make sure our guys are prepared the next time around. But right now like I said, we're making some adjustments to our offense, and we're certainly going to play a little better defensively. And then I think Justin is arriving in about 3 days. So we're looking forward to his arrival and the things that we can do with him and explore him and the new things that we're doing.
Well, Coach, you mentioned Justin, and it's funny because I had a conversation with my dad about your offense, actually, and I asked him, so how are you going to bust zones? And he said, we have Justin. He's our zone buster. I just want to ask you, Coach, just what does Justin bring here that, always has you calling him up every time it's an import-laden conference?
Well, I think it's not just his skills. In fact, I think the skills are less a factor. It's really about his personality and the way he blends with his teammates, the way he motivates his teammates, the way he makes his teammates better around him. And there's no doubt when he walks onto the floor, we play at a whole new level. And that really is from his personality, not just on the floor itself, but off the floor, in practice, all the things that he does. Sometimes imports come in, they kind of take everything for granted. They take the league for granted. They played in the NBA, and it's like, I'm too good for this league now because I played in the NBA. And so they kind of take it easy. They don't want to come to practice every day. They want to, rest their knees or rest or whatever. Never happens with Justin. Justin comes to practice every day and works. He works before practice, and then when we do our practice, he's 100% out there, focused, mentally ready. And then after practice, he spends another half hour, 45 minutes to an hour, just working on his game after practice. And you just don't see that in imports like that. And he's really devoted. And so, yes, he's a great player, and he has great skills. He can shoot it, he can handle it, he can rebound, there's a lot of things he can do. But his special skill is his attitude towards the game and what he brings to the team, what he brings to his teammates.
Now, Coach, compared to a lot of the other teams, Ginebra's core is still pretty intact. What is the mindset behind this consistency?
Well, I think that I think there's been a lot of talk about our core getting a little older, and that's true. We are getting a little older, but we don't find that they are beyond their prime. We think they're entering the end of their prime, but there's still a lot to give. I mean, you can look at an LA Tenorio and say, look, he's still got a lot of game left.
Yeah.
You can look at a Stanley Pringle, a Japeth Aguilar, and say, these guys got a lot of game left. And they have championships still in it. And maybe people start to think that our time is kind of ending, but we don't believe that. We believe our time is still now. We believe that we still have the opportunity. We took a step backward in this last bubble, but we did win the 2 championships before that, and so we took a step back, but we feel we're going to take 2 steps forward coming into this conference. With the core group that we have, and with the addition of Justin.
Of course, Coach, and I'm sure, especially when there's an import conference, Justin is part of that core group for sure with the amount of time he's been with Barangay Ginebra. But Coach, Ginebra has made a few moves already in the offseason trying to rejigger their roster. You got Sydney Onwubere in particular. What are the things that you were trying to address in the team with the acquisition of Sydney? And if ever, what are you trying to improve on to make sure that personnel-wise, matchup-wise, that you guys are ready for the upcoming conference?
Well, one of the things Sydney gives us, he gives us that 4-3-4 player who can be versatile and guard different types of players. He's amazingly strong. I mean, he is a man's man. He is a big boy. He knows how to throw his body around. He's really good around the basket, and yet he has a nice touch from the three-point line. And we feel like, he's entering his 29th year. He's 29 years old now. And that to us is the prime years. That's when he starts to figure it all out. And so we're hoping we're catching him right at the right time where he can come in and kind of elevate our core. Right now we're missing Aljon Mariano. He's always been that, kind of tough guy for us, and we're missing him for injury. He doesn't have a timetable yet on when he'll be back. So getting Sydney was really crucial for us to help us in that position. Because Aljon was a big factor in the 2 championships that we won.
Yeah.
And we think Sydney can kind of feel out that spot and maybe even take it up to a whole new level. And then when Aljon comes back, now we got 2 guys that can go and battle, play imports, battle bigger guys, and be a presence on the rebounds and athletic enough to get down the floor and get easy baskets.
All right, Coach, right before we move on to the NBA here, your message to the NSD supporters out there who are excited to see their team in person, hopefully very soon.
Well, like I said earlier, we're more excited about seeing them than they are about us. I mean, it's been, I look back at that last bubble, and it was always been Ginebra's great, fortune, blessing, that whenever they had a bad time in the season, whenever they were, kind of down and out, maybe on a losing streak, they could walk into the stadium and the whole, Coliseum would lift them up. And that was just something we were lacking in that last bubble. The first bubble, we were able to sustain momentum all the way from kind of like beginning to end. From the first week where we won our first 4 games into the championship. But the second bubble, we had a really hard time generating momentum.
Yeah.
And that is what our crowds do for us. They generate momentum for us. And when our lowest point, they pick us up. So again, for me, we're looking forward to seeing them a lot more than they're looking forward to seeing us. So we're hoping that PBA is able to open things up.
Yeah.
That people get vaccinated and they come watch. They come watch us play and give us the needed boost that we're so looking forward to.
Of course, Coach, and we can't wait to see them. And Coach, don't go away because after the break, let's go inside the minds of our basketball greats as Coach Tim Cohn shares his friendship with Miami Heat head coach Erik Spoelstra. Stay tuned. You're watching the game.
Welcome back to the game. Now, the thing about being a basketball coach is you never stop learning. To achieve legendary status, you start from the bottom and work your way to the top. But when you're already at the top, you'd still seek knowledge from the best that the world has to offer. Let's talk about that tonight with 23-time PBA champion Coach Tim Cohn as he shares to us his relationship with Miami Heat head coach Erik Spoelstra. Hi again, Coach.
Hi. I don't know why Erik Spoelstra gives me the time of day. I really don't know. I mean, he has so many people to choose from, and I just feel so fortunate that, he responds to my texts when we're within a few hundred miles of each other. We find a way to connect and see each other. And I've been on some fantastic walks with him. He's a walker. He likes to walk, so he likes to get up in the morning. He does hour walks every day. And to have the great fortune to walk with him during that hour or two, I tell you, it is exhausting. But to be able to walk with him and exchange ideas and talk, I mean, I can't think of anything that's more thrilling for me. And again, I don't know why he allows me to do that, but I'm just so tickled pink that he does. I'm so feel, again, blessed and lucky, both, that he allows me to do that with him.
Now, Coach, before anything else, what is the origin story of this wonderful friendship that you have with Coach Erik?
Well, I met him. Actually, it it's kind of a long story, so I'll try to make it as quickly as I can. He came over here for clinics sponsored by the NBA, and ironically, if I can go back, let's see if I can get this right. My father's first cousin is the yoga partner of Erik Spoelstra's mother. Okay? Get that.
Okay.
Wow.
In Portland, Oregon, United States, they are yoga partners. And so when they were having yoga, my father's cousin said to the mother that she had a nephew in the Philippines who was a basketball coach. And she said, well, Erik is going of course, Erik's mother is pure Pinay. And she goes, the mother said, well, Erik's going to the Philippines this summer. I'll have him look him up. So, he comes over for the summer, and we're meeting, I can't remember, one of the hotels. And the PBA asked me to go because, they wanted the PBA coaches there to greet Erik Spoelstra. So Erik Spoelstra walks in, and they say, Erik is here, you need to go over and meet him. So I walk over to him, and they go, hi, this is Tim Cohn. And he looks at me, and he points at me, and he goes, you're the guy that I'm supposed to meet. If I don't meet you, I am in so much trouble with my mom.
Oh, that's funny, Coach.
Right there. So and then from there, we just connected. And that was like, 9 years ago, 10, maybe more, 10, 11 years ago.
Oh, that's crazy.
And so we've been friends and close ever since. So, but it's ironic that it's from it happened in a small world, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, Coach, and yoga brings people together, apparently. But, Coach, looking at his Miami Heat right now, obviously, you named them actually as one of the teams to watch this season, and I'm sure there's a bit of bias in that. But when you look at what they're doing right now, just what impresses you the most? And I know that you talked to him, and I'm sure you exchanged ideas. Did you give him any Ginebra plays that he's running right now? Because that'll be really interesting.
No, we didn't. In fact, we're trying to copy them a little bit right now. So we're looking at what they're doing. We did exchange ideas through the years. He had a lot of interest in the triangle. And so we used to send video back and forth. I sent video to him about our practices and how we ran the triangle, and because he was really into read and react offenses.
Yeah.
And basically, he's taken his read and react offense to a whole new level. And he's got Tyler Hero there and Duncan as those great shooters, and he's got Butler. And it's just to me that their movement and the way they're passing the ball. They're just dynamic, and then Kyle Lowry, the way he pitches the ball forward, it just they just have a real good idea of how to fit the pieces together, and it just seems like a really, really close-knit team, and you can especially see it on the defensive end. They are really, really special defensively. So they're truly one of the contenders, because they are a playoff type team. They have the defense to play well during playoffs, and they have enough of the high level players in Butler and Lowry and Adebayo, and plus the shooters to go along with them. So I think they're really a strong playoff contending team. And I know Erik said this is his favorite team that he's ever coached.
Wow, that's a big statement considering the teams that he's
he
had.
He had LeBron and all those guys, but he's really enjoying coaching this team.
Yeah, he had the Heatles.
Like the perfect team for him.
Absolutely, Coach. And actually, Billy has a question here with regards to just how far they can go, Bill.
So, Coach, do you think that they can, win the championship this year? Are you confident?
I definitely think so. I think they're, like I said, I think they're a really, really strong contender. You don't see the super teams out there right now. Unless Kyrie Irving comes back to Brooklyn, I don't see any real super teams. You see a lot of surprises out there, but you don't see the real super team out there. I guess the one that's closest to us right now, which is a huge surprise, is the Golden State Warriors and the level of which they're playing at this point. Nobody expected that. We knew they'd be okay, but we didn't think they'd be back to 4 or 5 years ago when they are at that level. But they are playing at that level. But aside from them, I really haven't seen any superstar teams. Milwaukee Bucks are strong, but they're struggling a little bit this year. Brooklyn is struggling. And you got, again, some other surprise teams that are suddenly stepping up. Lakers are struggling. I think Miami could very well win the East. And they, like I said, I think they can defend anybody. And I'm a big believer. Defense wins championships. Get the playoff time, it's your defense that wins, and they have the defense to do it.
Coach, we could talk to you all day long, but we only have so much time here. And for those who are curious here, who are the other teams Coach Tim picked out as surprising picks? It's the Washington Wizards and the Chicago Bulls. So we can't talk about them now. But Coach, thank you very much for coming on and joining us here, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, you know that I would talk forever here, so you gotta like shut me up.
No,
Come back
Coach,
soon.
that's why we're leaving. Thank you very much,
Thank
Coach.
you.
All right. Best of all to the 3 Meralco guys who are going to be playing tomorrow. I wish you the best of luck, except against Ginebra and Coach Kirk.
Oh, that makes sense.
Thank you, Coach. Now, when we return, we'll check in with PBA 3x3 first leg finalists Tonino Gonzaga, Alfred Batino, and Dexter Maiquez of the Meralco Bolts as they're ready to charge stronger in the upcoming second leg of the PBA 3x3. Stay tuned, you're watching The Game. You're watching The Game. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang pagpapakita ng lakas ng tatlo sa PBA 3x3 as the league returns with its second leg tomorrow. Now, before we officially move on to the next leg of the tournament, tonight, first leg finalists Tonino Gonzaga, Alfred Batino, and Dexter Maiquez of the Meralco Bolts join us. Mga idol, welcome to The Game. Hello.
Thank you.
Hello, thank
Hello.
you. Thank you for coming in color coordinated rin, ha?
Nagpalit pa ang hatas nila
may
kanina
nagpalit nga yata eh. So, just to make sure that everyone's okay. But yeah, Billy, let's get going.
Now, gentlemen, first of all, congrats for making it to the finals. I'm sure it was not easy dahil nga grabe yung bakbakan on the court, especially pag 3x3. Now, how was that experience like for you guys, yung first leg ng PBA 3x3? Tonino, let's start with you.
It was a fun experience. Siyempre, kami ni Alfred and si McLean, who's in the reserve, had experience already. Pero for Dexter and Joseph, it was an adjustment period. Pero we had a lot of practices that we were able to impart on them na rin how 3x3 is. So thankfully, after the first few elimination games, naka-adjust kami sa second day and I think we played better. And thankfully, I think it's anyone's game kasi it's 10 minutes. Tapos so fast-paced. So we're just thankful that the results favored us until the finals at least.
Well, grabe naman kasi talaga yung pinakita nyo, diba, in that first leg. Now, Alfred, ikaw naman, worth it ba lahat ng pagod sa first leg na yun?
Oo, sobrang happy kami sa na-achieve namin yung first leg. Swerte kami na nakaiwas din na walang na-injury sa aming apat. At thankful na lang kami sa result kahit hindi namin nakuha yung championship.
Dex, nagulat ba kayo na undefeated kayo until the finals, or based on sa mga practice nyo, based on sa mga workout nyo together, was it something that, okay, we knew that we could do this and yan yung expectation namin? Sorry, Dex, medyo choppy yung audio mo. We'll try to get that fixed in just a bit. Pero yeah, Tonino, we'll have you answer that question first. So, again, undefeated before the finals. Expected ba yan para sa inyo?
Um, ano ba guys? Ano lang kami, game by game lang kami.
Yeah.
Every time na after ng matapos yung game, mag-uusap kami sa dugout. Tapos, syempre, papasalamat kami kay Lord. Kasi, mahirap yung 3-on-3 talagang hindi namin alam kung mananalo kami at any point of the game. Eh. So, hindi namin in-expect. Pero, yun yung una, ginol namin na at least pang quarterfinals. Tapos nung nasa quarterfinals kami, syempre, we played well sa eliminations. So, parang we thought that we could reach semifinals at least. Tapos, nung nanalo kami sa semifinals, ayun, we just tried our best. Unfortunately, we came short sa finals. Pero, good enough na rin for first leg.
Na hopefully Dex's audio is okay. Dex, kamusta na yung feeling nung nasa finals nga kayo? Were you guys nervous? May pressure ba? Or was it all just pure adrenaline?
Pure adrenaline lang dahil dun na yung gusto namin manalo. Kasi hindi na namin iniisip yung pressure na malakas yung talk and text like that. Talagang bibigyan na namin yung best namin talaga sa finals and then short lang talaga.
Alam mo, Alfred, mabuti na lang na short turnaround between leg 1 at leg 2 kasi sigurado ako that you wanna get back on the floor kaagad after falling short in the finals. What can the Meralco fans expect from yung 3x3 team ninyo knowing that okay, we now know yung level ng opposition natin, we now know how we can play and do better going to the next one. Ano yung expectations ng mga Meralco fans sa inyo?
Expect nila na gritty pa rin kami maglaro. Ibibigay namin 100% namin every game at hindi namin ipapahiya yung team namin.
Alright, and Tonino, looking at the competition that we've seen so far, you now know your opponents, you now know how they play. How confident are you that the next leg will probably be even more exciting, more tough to win, considering medyo sanay na lahat in terms of the 3x3 game?
Actually, sinabi nga ni Coach Pat sa amin yan na we should expect every leg to get harder kasi as we go on, nag-a-adjust talaga yung mga team. So, what we rely on siguro is our defense na lang kasi yun, pwedeng maging constant yun para sa amin and the way our team is made up, di ba? And wala lang, excited lang rin kami kasi ibang klaseng competition talaga itong PBA 3x3. I think it's the best talent sa Philippines sa 3x3 wise so far na I've played in. And excited lang kami na magkaroon ng chance na maglaro. And sana pala rin lang kami manalo, di ba? But we'll work hard for it.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. And good luck in your upcoming games.
Thank you.
Alright, you can catch the PBA 3x3 Lakas ng Tatlo Leg 2 on One Sports PBA Rush and the Smart Giga Play app tomorrow.
And thank you so much for joining us. I'm Billy Capistrano.
I'm Paul Del Rosario. This has been The Game.